Okay, now my microphone should be working. I think we're all good. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream where we're back in our gas course project. Action game built from scratch, of course, using Unreal Engine 5, C++, the blueprints, and gameplay ability system plugin. So today we're going to work on 2 tasks. Hopefully it'll just take maybe an hour. If we're lucky, we'll see what happens. To do at least one of them. So the first thing I want to do, well, I guess we're going to do 3 things. Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm first going to want to fix this, again, motion warping issue. When you don't really have a target, and, you know, your character kind of derps out rotation-wise. I think it's a quick fix. I don't know. I'd have to compare to other warping options. It seems like it's fine. They were doing facing and slurp, and it seems all well and good. Like, these attacks come out fine. So there's my warp target and everything, but when I do this, it just rotates like crazy. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's probably with the. Let's see if I do anything different. Player, melee base. Because I have an in-air attack, so maybe I'm constructing things differently. So there's no target. Let's go to the parent here. Let's do construct no target. Seems the same. I don't know if doing anything different in the Z will make a difference. Kind of. Makes it worse. Target in range. Seems like we're doing the same stuff here. So I'm not sure why the motion warping isn't the best here. Is it because it kind of extends past? Let's see. Like, that seems fine. Guess it's because it needs to match the distance. Unless I can say something like, okay, from here to here is that, and then from here I do like default or something. Let's see. Still seems fine. Let's see how bad that ends up being once there is a target too. But yeah, first things first. So jump, attack, seems fine. Seems fine. Now let's do it against an enemy. Seems fine. Great. Bam, bam. Yeah, so now we fixed that more or less, quote unquote. What I want to do now, just to recap what the issue is that I'm working towards trying to fix, is I have, you know, my damage pipeline and everything, and I'll recompile. But I am noticing my FPS is dropping pretty significantly when I'm doing my overlaps and I'm dealing damage. I'm doing, you know, spawning the particles, and everything like that. And I'm trying to figure out why. And so I'm using like the Unreal Insights and tracing and stuff like that. And I found that, and I'll show you the whole process here. So we have Unreal Insights, right? And I'm going to put this on my other screen and I'll pop it back on once we're ready to profile it. Basically, you know, when I do an attack like that, I have a scoped named event called applied to damage internal. So we can find it. And let's see, highlight. I don't know where the highlight is. Okay. Down here. So we have 2 instances of damage, right? We have one here and one here. So like inclusive time is 5.5 milliseconds there. And, you know, 1.91 milliseconds there, right? And I found that the issue was, or is, this load of class. Because like if I were to, again, comment this block out, for example. And do a recompile. Close out of this version. Start another profiling session. I deal damage, boom, boom. We open it back up. We find it. Highlight damage event. So it's in here. I think. Highlight. Is this the old one? I'm assuming this is the new one over here. And we have it here. And it's significantly more minuscule here. And then again over here, very small. So the reason being, I assume, is this: I'm loading this class every time. And I think I should just put my execution classes, like the blueprints, in my project settings. Because I do have like ability system settings. Maybe I can have maybe like a damage subsection here, because I do have like a health thing. So maybe I can have like a damage thing. So we're gonna try to refactor it in that way, and we'll see what happens. So I should be able to go to ability system, or is it under subsystem? And then there's damage and damage data. Where is my ability system settings, I guess? Here. So I should be able to, hopefully, do a U property, config, edit anywhere, only, and we're going to do damage. We don't need a meta for that. And then I should be able to say just T subclass of, and not damage type, but execution. So I think that's what I'm loading in, right? Yeah. Should be able to say damage execution. And then I should hopefully make a comment for this as well. should be able now to, in my ability system library here, I should be able to get the ability system settings. I should have an example of this somewhere in the attribute set. So I should be able to say, like, if gas ability system settings, yeah, something like that. Can that localize? Okay, so it just has to be cost. Then I could say, like, so you damage execution. Oh. Should say something like this. So no viable constructor candidates considered. No. Or do I say no? No. I don't think it needs to be a pointer, does it? Oh. It should be okay. I don't know why the syntax highlighting is doing that weird stuff. So if we do this, maybe I could say something like, you know, if or can I say, then like if not turn false. Maybe that's okay, and then we do, and then instead of this, we say this. Okay, so it's not scoped to the right lifetime. Not lifetime, but you know what I mean. Can I say and now it should be okay, I think. So let's see. Fingers crossed that this compiles for one, and then see if it works. So ideally, one will see damage. We'll see the damage number, and the way I'm handling damage numbers is also not the most performant. It's done in blueprints, and I'm ticking position value and updating it over time. So moving that to C++ will definitely do me some favors as well. Then there's still a lot of performance problems that I'm seeing on hit. I do wonder if it's just the way I'm loading gameplay cues. I can maybe look that up too. I forget. Okay. So first and foremost, we gotta go into project settings, go to our ability system settings. We should see damage here. We should see gas scores, damage execution. It's for 1. Now we should at least see damage, which we do, which is great. So now let's check this scoped event again, and remember, I was getting like a 5 millisecond hit, which is kind of gross. So it'll be good to know if that's any better. So let's start profiling. We'll do the same attack per usual. We jump, we do bam bam. Stop. We look it up. Highlight event. So we got 2 here. And yeah. So it says inclusive time 2.31 milliseconds. Which is a lot better. It's about half, which I think is great, but still problematic, right? So we can maybe see what's wrong now. Because yeah, apply that. So we're loading the object. Again, this healing execution, which is probably not the best thing to do. And then there is this on damage dealt thing where we're then constructing stuff for our UI, which probably should be done in C++. Because we're doing a lot of stuff for that damage number. I feel like it could be a little bit better. But let's find this load object. Where is this other one? Is it also in here? So let's remove this. Okay, so there's no other like load object thing. What's it called? Healing execution base. So is that anywhere in our code base? Yes, here. So we're doing a pretty similar thing. So we know that's a no-go. So let's also do a scoped. Let's do a scoped event here, and just be sure of the damage that we're doing. So let's remove that. Oh. And yeah, let's go to the... Is it damage execution? Yeah. So damage execution class, or just damage execution underscore execute. So I don't think I made any changes where I don't need to do a full recompile. Let's see. Let's do a reload. Then, yeah, I don't know. Like, if we should take, I maybe we need to take the time to update the positions, or maybe create a helper function or something. I really haven't written code for widget blueprint, so I'm not super familiar on how that looks. But one thing at a time. Let's see how bad this healing thing is. So bam, bam. Profiler. Let's look at this. Oh no, we don't want that. We don't want this one. Found it. Highlight event. Where are you? Highlight. Aha. So we have it here. This is 1.55 inclusive time. This says 1.33. So it doesn't seem too bad. Let's see. Let's take a screenshot so we don't forget what that looks like. Okay. And let's do the same thing that we did for the damage execution. Bam. Bam. Okay. So we don't need you, we don't need you. We can go back here. So similar thing. So healing execution. And then yeah, I need to kind of do the same thing here. I'll just grab that. This was in damage execution. I should probably do it somewhere up here. I don't know if I should do it like in the structure. I don't know if that would work. Let's just do it in the execution. So we'll just do like that for a second. So healing calculation class. Oh, I don't want to move it to inner scope because I need it here. So that should be okay. Let's try to compile that. Sorry, I'm just kind of reading an article on FAQs. Wondering if that is the problem. So it says, and so we do want the gameplay queue manager to scan and find all of the gameplay queue notifies. However, we don't want it to async load every single one on play. This will put every gameplay queue notify all of the reference sounds and products as we're using a level. An alternative is to async loading every gameplay queue on startup is only async load gameplay queues triggered game. This mitigates unnecessary memory usage and potential game hard freezes while async loading every gameplay queue exchange potential effects. Blah blah blah. Okay, so it's in the ability system globals class. I don't know if I have one. Should. Oh no, it's a gameplay queue manager? Should async run object libraries, and we're returning false, which says yeah. What is the article you're reading? Oh, sorry. I'm reading this. And then I'm also just reading through Tranec. Okay. So let's see. We gotta go into our project settings again. We gotta go to our ability system settings. I'm gonna have to change this, but we'll put the healing execution. I'm gonna need to put it under health, so let me do that as well. Go, so force, health. So now, I still have, I do have a way of not dying, but dealing health damage to myself. So I am getting some sort of passive healing. I think. Yeah. I think I'm properly healing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm applying knockback all the time. Oh, he's dead. So yeah, I gotta fix that too. Ah. But yeah, I was trying to figure out how best to apply knockback and stuff as part of my push to figure out why my game is performing not that great. What's the name of my scoped event again? So if you remember, we're looking at 1.33 milliseconds in about 237 nanoseconds or microseconds. Not sure. But yeah, let's see. So I'm going to do my jump attack. Bam, bam. I'm going to stop profiling. I'm going to go in here. Find this. Highlight event. Where did that go? Here. So here's our bam bams. So yeah, now it's 1.19 milliseconds. So it's a little better. The other instance, I forget how much it was. We didn't really screenshot it, but you know, still not that great. But it's a little bit better, so we'll kind of take that. But yeah, the issue is still what we're doing in our I think our UI. Thanks for the follow, Crazy Dubby. Thanks so much. How you doing? Thanks for popping in. So essentially, like for example, let's disconnect our damage numbers for a second, because again, what we're doing with our damage number, and I don't think it's the individual number, but the panel. I believe this is problematic. You know, we're iterating and updating. What's the reason you're drawing those spheres? Is it so these spheres? That's the camera boom. And to be honest, like, I don't know why I'm drawing it anymore. That's been like that for so long, actually. There should be draw debug lag markers. So if I make that false, now the spheres are gone. What exactly are you trying to do? Well, I'm just trying to pinpoint any significant frame drops at the moment. So that I'm doing some stat profiling. I'm looking at my damage execution, and I'm seeing a lot. 1 millisecond, I guess, is not that much, but it's still, I think, problematic the way I'm handling the damage numbers. So again, if I hit the guy with the thing, I draw a critical because it was a critical hit, but right now all my stats are at 100% critical, and then we get a damage number kind of floating, and I'm updating it on tick to stay in its relative position on the enemy, and obviously we have this like damage numbers and stuff like that. So I think, at least based on the profiling that I'm doing so far, are you doing everything in BP? No, I'm doing a mix of code and BP. The damage numbers, yes, they're in blueprints, so I'm definitely going to need to move it to C++, and that's what I'm trying to think and consider if it's worth it, which probably will be. But I do want to just see what happens if I just disconnect those two. Because obviously there's not going to be a damage number. But it would be good to first get a comparison here. So damage dealt, and the whole damage execute is like 1.5 milliseconds. Let me just grab that chunk as a reference point. And let's start profiling. And then we'll do our double hit. And we'll stop. We have two windows open, so just so I don't confuse myself, let's close everything. So there's currently not an actual course. Like, the whole idea of the gas course is just me making a game using gas and then hopefully documenting it at some point. So really, like, there is a where is it? There's this ongoing thread that I'm working on in the Unreal forums. You can check it out, but there's no official course yet. But we'll see how it goes. I should really change the name. I know it's misleading. Sorry. That's nice that you're mixing code with B. Now I'm trying to make an RTS using gas only in code, and you don't know how difficult it is. Just fixing an error took me 5 days. That's life, That's just how it goes. And the reason why I'm mixing Blueprint and C++ is because I've worked with blueprints for so long. I'm just super comfortable using them. And so I'm trying to integrate myself into code and learning more about code. And so I'm doing stuff in BP for faster iteration, and then migrating things to C++, and then starting to try to feel more comfortable in just C++. But with gas, the gameplay abilities themselves, it's okay that some of the stuff is in blueprints. So finding a balance is probably the best. Yeah. So for people, learning gas, obviously join our Discord if you'd like. I try to answer questions there for anyone that has any. It's relative hit or miss how popping off that server is, but also I recommend Tranec documentation if you aren't already reading through that. Big treasure grove of knowledge there. So let us profile. Let us hit our guy twice. Let's stop profiling. Let's then look in the Unreal Insights. Again, for comparison, what I'm looking at is our damage dealt. It's 1.1 millisecond. And again, it's updating all the damage numbers and stuff. It's creating a lot of widgets. So maybe that's the potential issue. I know other systems, I think, were spawning like gameplay cues and spawning a particle that represented the number, which is maybe a better way of doing it. But using UMG was just a little bit, quicker, easier for me. I'm not a VFX person. So let's look now. I'm going to highlight the events. So we got it in here. Here's our two different damage instances. We're going to just huddle into it. And yeah, it's significantly lower. And again, it's because of the lack of all the stuff that I'm doing on the HUD. So it seems like it might be a good idea. So what's an acceptable? I mean, as low as possible. Like that's my kind of rule of thumb. And the general, the gist of it is, like, it happens, like when I'm dealing damage in this game, and probably a lot of games, this is gonna be a very frequent occurrence. So trying to make that as seamless and quick as possible is ideal. And yeah, so that's what I'm trying to kind of solve and figure out. So I know that's the problem. And so I don't know. I'm sure there's more issues because, like, again, I'm also using motion warping on the hits. So when you hit the dummy, I'm doing motion warping that way. And what I'm gauging this off of, and again, I know I'm playing in editor, so there's a lot of slate overdraw that gives you kind of a misrepresentation of your true FPS. But kind of just looking at what I have and what I'm drawing, I'm sitting currently at 80-ish FPS. It might fluctuate to 90. And so when I hit an enemy, it drops to like 40. So like that is what my current problem is. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. And so I'm trying to find the low-hanging fruits. And then kind of just going from there. It's like, honestly, like when I'm just doing normal melee hits and everything, it stays relatively stable. But as soon as I smack that guy, it's an issue. So I'm trying to do my best to figure out why. Like, and honestly, when I'm out in the field now, like, it's relatively stable. But when I'm in, like, the shadows, maybe, is where it is problematic. Let's try this theory. So now I'm in the shadows. No. So pretty much trying to figure out what that is. And so it's slowly making our way through that. So probably our best bet Yeah, I could try a different starting location for the dummy, sure. Because yeah, right now I have it as like a spawner of some sort. Yeah. So I can just not spawn anything. Just manually place them. I'll put them over here. Seems like a nice enough place. Because another suspicion of mine is the particle effects. Because yeah, it drops to again 50s. So it's not the greatest. And so like I also went through my melee base here, and there is a couple of factors that I think are affecting it. I'm not too sure how to fix it just yet, because I do have local hit stops for like affecting local time dilation, and I think that's a factor. And it's a factor in a way I'm not sure how to address. So now without any sort of hit stops, it still drops pretty low, so it's not even that, right? But like the issue, I don't think it's the issue, but we can always try to see, is I have this melee traces that are being performed. I don't think like they're too they're not inefficient, because when I'm just swinging around like normal, there's no real drop. It's only when I actually hit something. But the issue that I'm seeing with like my hit stops, for example, it is affecting at least the debug. I don't know how true it is representative of the system itself, but if you'll see, like there is like a section at the hit stop where the trace density is a lot higher. Obviously when I'm in slow-mo you'll see more traces, but like I'm wondering if that is at all problematic. Try a different collision detection. I'm not sure what that would accomplish. Like if I did a different collision detection, like I would just miss the guy, and because I missed the guy, we won't get any sort of like hit events, and like I think the performance will be probably unaffected. Like some parts tell me it's the gameplay queue. Just like a hitbox, and enable and disable it when you start attacking. Well, I'd rather not do that kind of hitbox, because I want to get some accurate hit data so I can spawn impact effects in the appropriate places and try to make it reliable. Like I don't want to just turn on a hitbox and then turn it off. And this system is in C++, so it should be relatively performant. So yeah, as we're seeing, yeah, it's still... I wonder if it's the dummy itself that is an issue. I don't know if it's the animation or something. But then again, it eventually stabilizes in some way. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure at the moment. So I need to kind of keep debugging. So there is this error that comes up. So, but yeah, I think in general, like I don't think it's not the gameplay queue. I'm not sure if it's the Could be the reaction. So if I don't deal damage or anything, or I don't send a hit reaction or something, maybe that could be problematic. So again, we're at 70. And yeah, so it's definitely stable. So something about this character animating? Hey, Vinigero, how you doing? All good, all good. Yeah, so we're seeing that something, and again, the shake that we're seeing, this is all custom timeline and stuff, so that should also kind of be built into C++ in some way to kind of run the curve, but it's in blueprints because I want to have like a little bit of a impact shake. Yeah, so something about the animation. Maybe not even the animation. Let's do this. I can't remember because because I also want to be. I should be using state trees at some point to activate a reaction and everything like that. But this is where I'm playing a montage. If I go to my reference viewer, I should see on hit dummy, right? I don't think so. It has some stuff where I'm just updating a warp target and stuff like that. So if I were to, I believe, just play the animation. So changes come into state trees on 5.6, right? I think so. There should be a lot of changes there. Looking forward to it. Alright, so let's do this. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like the animation is dropping very, very hard. So if I were to, just to be sure, this should turn off the animation. Yeah. Okay, so we have some idea of what's going on. I think Google's gonna have to be our friend here. UE5 frame drop during anime montage. Has anyone? Combat is looking cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Has anyone run into this issue where playing a montage causes a problem? Because this is also a marketplace asset, so maybe something funky is going on, or maybe I changed something somewhere one time and now it's all fucked. So here's the Atom BP. So that's that, and then there's just a new state machine. I don't think it needs this state machine. Because like it's just running idle. Maybe I could just grab idle. Is it idle 1? Default slot. Seems okay. You can check the animation, look in what frame rate they're running, optimize them if you can. Okay, yeah, let's take a look. So here's our hit. Maybe it's an issue with unloading them? Let me look. But yeah, on ability added. Let me just see. Okay, so it happens immediately, but I'm async loading the asset. Maybe that's also a bad idea? I don't know. But let's look. So we have hit 0, 1, for example. So yeah, obviously we have a motion warping track we don't need anymore. Not sure. Yeah, sorry, I don't know who just. Yeah, okay. Tegu Sentosa from YouTube, thanks for the subscription. Much appreciated. Is it a sequence issue at all? Because yeah, I'm also start time, end time. It's fine. Play rate is fine. So it seems like number of sampled keys is 28. Number of sampled frames is 27. So that seems normal. Animation track names? I don't know if that's a problem. No additive enable root motion. No. Let's just do that round for all of our animations here. I want to make sure I don't do root motion anymore. I don't want it to do motion warping built into the animation. At the moment, it seems normal. Not exactly sure what to look for. Did I already do the first one? Everything seems 24 FPS. I don't know. Is it because I'm playing this one backwards? Is this one even being used? I hope not. For the sake of testing, I would like to just do that. Just want to force feed it an animation. I can't tell. Did I not plug something in? Yeah, I did plug something in. Let's try that one more time. Over here. Yeah? Like there is some hiccup. So what? What's the problem? So if I put that back in, okay, it's still okay. It's not dropping to 50s anymore. Well, that did. But I think it might be just because of the particles. But it seems relatively stable now. Okay. One thing I want to check though, because there's this time stretch curve. How does the time stretch curve work? So name of optimal time stretch curve name to look for in montage. Let's look at this curve. Let's try if it does anything. Because yeah, what we did last time is we created a time warping notify state where we can control the play rate with a curve. So now we can make it slower and speed up, which is nice, but irrelevant to our conversation at the moment. I wonder. Because yeah, we still don't have our number plugged in anymore, so let me put on our damage panel and our tick. This whole thing I'm gonna probably move to C++. It's probably our best bet. So let's see if we get any significant frame drops. No? I don't know what happened. You know, this is still pseudo problematic, and it might be a combination of things. Like I have my data table somewhere, right? Like melee. Melee in air, I still want to just do one sample. It's probably enough. So I do that, and yeah, it's enough. Yeah. So bam, bam. So yeah, I think damage numbers are a good point to fix, and the critical and all that stuff. But then I think we're in decent shape. What I'm gonna try first though, is I kind of feel like I'm on crazy pills. Just gotta close out of the editor. And we'll relaunch the editor in a second. I do have a build. It's not the most recent build, but it's a build. It's a development build. Maybe I should make a shipping build just to see. Because yeah, you can see the level's not the same. And if I do stat FPS, I'm locked in at 60. I think it's just because of VSync and the NVIDIA stuff, but like it seems, yeah, like you could see the dips kind of happen. And I think this build also has stronger hit stops. So I'll probably have to make another build with these changes, but just make a comparison. So let's exit this. Let's run. Sorry, crazy dude, but I just saw your messages. How do you get your blueprint nodes to look like that? I like that. It's I forget what it's called. I think it's called Darker nodes is one of the plugins, and the other one is electronic nodes. I think they have like a price on it, but you can look on Fab for those. It gives you the color scheme that's really nice, and then it also gives you the actual different kinds of how the nodes connect and look to each other. Super nice, super cool. Definitely check it out. So let's see. I gotta add a new task to refactor out the damage numbers. So maybe we'll do that in the next stream. But then after we refactor that, I think I have to just move forward because I want to start working on my block and my parry. Because right now I have this shield on his arm, and right now I could tap, and it just does I guess it'll eventually go into like a full block and a full blend space of everything. But right now it's just a pose. So we're at 90. Do we stay at a relatively good? We do. So now what I'd like to do is go back to my melee base. Because what I'd like to have is I want to launch the character. I gotta cast to character, launch character. And the launch velocity, I think I can get it from the hit data. Curious what the impact normal will actually look like. So let's do 5,000. We'll see how far he gets knocked back, and we'll see what the damage is for performance. So performance definitely takes a hit when launching the character. Oh lord, where did he go? So we could just simply say actor forward. Times it by 5,000. Should be back to what we had. Yeah, it's a little too much, but you can see now, it's performing better. So yeah, fixing the damage numbers I think is going to be our best bet. Honestly, 5,000 is too much. Also, we're going to refactor this. Maybe we could do some stuff in C++. Maybe we can look at this as well. Like, launching character seems like it does a lot. So we can remove this, I think. But let's grab this. Go into character. Launch character. Let us. I think 2,000 is okay. Let us do a hot reload. In the meantime, let's look at our tasks. So we did this. So we identified. We researched. We implemented. And we tested. Everything is good to go. We did that. The other thing I wanted to do was this clean up camera settings and remove legacy settings. But we can save that for now. But we will, we will add a new task for ourselves. We're gonna call it, so refactor damage number UI to C++ from BP. We want to refactor our damage number panel to be done in C++ rather than B to measure performance. Okay, and we can could start next Tuesday, I think. Tags as code. Right, add a new one. Okay. So we have our our task logged for ourselves. Trying to be a little bit more organized with this project. So now, it still says it's patching, meaning relocations. Not sure why. Oh, it's because the editing crashed. Okay. Let's do a full recompile. I just want to see the results of this. Because I'm assuming launching character is not the most optimal thing to do. Could be wrong. There is also this video that we could probably watch. For anyone wanting to watch it now. But maybe it's worth for me to watch this as well. So there's profiling, size map, memory port control rig, enable profiling, GPU visualizer, insights, animal graph compression, LOD switching, multi-threading, fast paths, Attached poses. Visibility-based anim ticks. Update rate optimization, budget to skeletal mesh component, size limit, impressions, skip bounds of interpolating component used to fix things. Just tick.
I think it's mainly because it's often abused, and the default Unreal settings don't really help either. So let's start off with a few steps that we can apply to make tick work a bit more.
Oh, Talis, you're trying to find a good way to do knockbacks as well. What are you thinking? Do you have any ideas on how you want to handle that?
Of course. So in Unreal, the default state for actors is to start with tick enabled. You can set the start with tick enabled to be false in the blueprint, and this can be found on the class settings. But tick will also need disabling on a. You'll find it start with tick enabled value on the primary building the control with the frame. Tick with the tick interval value. So a value of 0 means it's ticking every single frame. If you want it to tick once a frame, you can set it to 1, 2 ticks a frame, 0.5. So this is very useful for decoupling the logic from the. Again, if you want to change do customize properly. So this is a command that you can run in game, and it'll report a list of every ticking object in your scene.
Maybe we could do a dump tick for funsies. Not much. So there's the Niagara particle system, trees, the BP mills, which are kind of bullshit. Elf mail stuff. Maybe that's a problem. Yeah, the stylized sky. Timeline component, sky. Oh, not that great. There is a timeline component. Transformer shield, yeah, okay, that's done as a timeline. I get that. Yeah, so not terrible. Root motion overrides XY. So I use launch character, but when character plays a loop montage with root motion, enables launch only works in Z-axis. Root motion overrides XY. I see. Yeah, I'm trying to like. Obviously, I'm working with a dummy right now, and so like, I don't have much animation to like work with. So I'm just doing a knockback and things like that. But if I had an actual character that was animated, yeah, there would be like explicit knockback reactions, say. Yeah, one thing I gotta also fix is when I cancel this and let go, it brings me back into it. So I'm gonna have to maybe dodge has to end the ability. But I digress. Is the AI knockback a GA? In my case, currently, no. I mean, the animation stuff, it's a hit reaction GA, yes, but the knockback, the launching that I'm doing is happening explicitly in the melee, which is not a good idea. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I'm doing in this GA that should be migrated into the hit reaction ability and maybe moved into C++ and have it as like a core thing inside of the reaction abilities, and you can opt into them. So we can kind of break down the different things that I'm doing on the AI. And we could just look at it one by one. So yeah, that's the whole thing, right? And that's actually not all of it. Something is not connected. Reaction on dummy, yeah. So I need to do this kind of stuff. So let's forget motion warping. I'm curious if this is what the potential issue will be, but we'll see. Oh, Estevan, yay! How's it going, man? I miss you. Thanks for popping in, dude. So yeah, we can break this down. Now we should see this like flash as well. Maybe the flash is what's causing the performance problem. Who knows? Because yeah, now it's dropping back down to the 40s and 50s for those moments. So is it the fact that I'm creating a material and like modifying it or something? That would be wild. You're doing awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like the drop in frame rate is back again. So I'm not extremely confident on what's going on, but let's solve what we can solve. It's like now it's steady. So let's live with that. I hope things are going well for you. They are. You know, life is good. I'm happy. Work is good. Work is stressful, but that's just game dev. Life is good. Miss you. I hope to see you at some point. Come to Poland. So yeah, where was I? So honestly, I'm gonna end the stream in a couple of minutes here, but just to kind of break down the enemy that I'm doing for my hits. You know, this is all of it together, and we can kind of break it down. Because obviously the first thing that we're doing is spawning a VFX at the hit location. The next thing that we're doing, and I'll bypass to it, we're doing a localized shake on the enemy. The next thing that we do is we force the rotation of the enemy to face the player. You know, we just snap it. The next thing that we're doing is the shaking of the player's UI. So you'll see the UI elements kind of shake. Might be a little too much, but it's there. Okay, it looks like we got some spam here. Let's say goodbye to him. Bye-bye. Then the next thing that we're doing is, and this could be maybe not necessary, but we're toggling on like a red outline on the enemy when we do hits. And it's going to be based on damage type, I believe. But for here, no, we turn it on. We didn't turn it off. But we do a red outline that's handled by the post-processing. And then we do our hit stop. So we go, So it feels like we're cutting through it, you know? And we made a subsystem for that. And we're doing local time dilation on that. So it's just affecting the player. The next thing we do is damage. And that's where we get the damage numbers and all that stuff. And we do our damage calculations. So now we're seeing the numbers being drawn. then we actually send the hit event. Which gives us our animation. Then we launch our character, which obviously launches the character. And as you can see, launching the character is what is pretty heavy on the performance. Which I'm not understanding why. But we did put a profile there. So let's end on that. Let me plug everything back in. But there, hopefully you guys get a sense of what exactly is happening on hits. Obviously, there's things I need to migrate to different places. Maybe there's things I should be doing in blueprints instead for more optimization. But that's everything in a nutshell. And so yeah, the final result. Oh, the camera got blurred. No, hello. I think it's just because it's so dark. And now it's really dark. I don't know if this is going to help. Can I refocus myself? Yeah, there we go. And so yeah, everything together, you get like this result. Which I think it feels really good. Feels crunchy. Obviously, we also have force feedback on the controller. We have also camera shake, very subtle push in. So yeah, that's that. So let's look at our stat profile. Let's do a hit. Let's stop. Let's look. Do launch character. So the event itself is hella small. So I'm not sure really why it's given such bad performance. I'm sure it's maybe it's the character launch, or it's like the ticking of physics or something, or not exactly sure. But we'll remove that scoped event. Maybe I can do maybe I can make a what's the word? Shipping build. Just see how it looks and performs there. Because now it's again steady at 80-ish frames per second. Perf issues are the worst to figure out. True. True that. So yeah, I'm gonna do just that. We already made a ticket for ourselves to try to optimize our damage numbers. But yeah, then I gotta start working on my blocking, my parry systems. I have some cool ideas with what I want to accomplish for parries and I guess blocks specifically. In Lyra, they use apply root motion constant force, I believe. Maybe that can work, actually. It's a task. World direction. Strength. Duration. 1. Strength over time, whatever, maintain. Last motion velocity. Enable gravity. Let's see what we get there. Because maybe that's the play. Okay, so nothing is happening, but that doesn't mean no. So okay, this needs to be applied in the hit reaction. So let's try this real quick. Get avatar. Get forward. Not sure what is additive means, but let's try that. Okay. .25. Not sure about the performance just yet, but let's look. Yeah. Still the same at the beginning, but now it seems consistent. But yeah, now it's definitely too strong, but maybe it's 1,000 or something. But maybe that's a better idea instead of doing launch characters. So yeah, thanks for that call, Talos. Much appreciated. So yeah, let's try 1,000. Yeah. Maybe even too much. Maybe like 750. But yeah, then we gotta stop nitpicking and move on with our lives. But again, we're gonna refactor our damage numbers just for good measure. Yeah, that feels good. Still a problem with the performance and stuff, but maybe yeah, current target. Yeah, we gotta fix that. But let's see, because I think me using current target is not the best here either. I gotta see. How long have you been in the industry? Professionally, I started working professionally in 2016 in Serbia, so almost 10 years. But I've been working in game dev. It's actually where I met Estevan. If you're still in the chat, met in college, university to learn game dev. So that was in 2010, 2013, 2014, something like that. And then yeah, I came to Poland, and I worked on Outriders and Outriders World Slayer at People Can Fly, and now I'm at CD Projekt Red working on Witcher 4. Patisi Serbian? Barely. I'm barely Serbian. Yeah. So we have some stuff that we know we need to refactor. I'm not going to spend time making a checklist now. So we'll have to go with it. I just got my game degree in 2023. That's awesome. I wish you the best of luck. Definitely join our Discord if you'd like to just talk about it. I am not the best designer. I know that for a fact. But I appreciate the kind words. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna call it for tonight. So again, here's the Discord. And make sure to follow. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're here on Twitch, make sure to do a follow. It's all much appreciated. I see our good buddy Odom is streaming, so let's raid Odom. So if you're a fan of art, but he's playing Pokemon at the moment, but if you're a fan of art in general, I will recommend him. I forget how to raid for some reason. Is it just raid slash? I don't remember. I'm having a brain fart. At slash raid, okay. Forgive my stupidity, it's been a long week. You guys go ahead, enjoy his stream, send him some love. Have a good weekend, and see you soon.